two, one. Here we go. We are the Cornfed Coverage Podcast. We're all best friends, born and raised here in the good state of Nebraska. I am Michael, and that is Nathan, and that is Chase. And we're going to talk all things college sports, multi sports, and we're all best friends. We decided to just kind of start talking ball and record it and start a podcast, and here we are. Uh, we're gonna jump right into Husker college football 2025 predictions, and I myself currently have the Corn Huskers going 10-2.
Yep.
Nebraska is putting BTA to Cincinnati this coming Thursday, August 28th, and it's a night game. Our fellow co-host Chase Hersey will be attending the game, and I told him he better be losing his voice, and if he isn't, I will not be happy. uh, Nebraska's beating Akron. We don't need to talk about that game a lot. Uh, it's a home game. Memorial's going to be 90,000 strong, and Akron's not going to know what to do. Maybe a false start penalty here and there, too. Uh, Houston Christian University. I'm sorry, I've never heard of you, but thanks for coming to Memorial to get your butt whooped and take that L walking out of Memorial. You'll get to see probably the most gigantic stadium you've never seen before, and yeah, Nebraska's winning that game. Now,
At three.
yeah, we are 3-0. Having Michigan coming into the big red bounce house we call Memorial Stadium. Michigan's not going to know what to do without their head coach Sharon Moore attending that 3-game suspension. And I think Dylan's going to throw for over 200 yards. Emmett Johnson's going to score 2 touchdowns with over 100 yards rushing. And I think Nebraska wins that game 27-21. So we are 4-0, and we have Michigan State coming into town. Not a true road test yet. And again, I believe we go and beat their butts. We're 5-0, going on the road to Maryland. I have Nebraska beating Maryland. Dylan Raiola is going to be 5-0 going out there. He's going to be determined to keep us from losing any road games. Uh, Same story goes for Minnesota. Now, PJ Fleck, he can be testy. He Minnesota's had our number here and there, and we've all three been to that stadium, boys. We know that environment. I think Nebraska can handle it. I don't see them having any issues. Now they might be a little rowdy since that is a night game on October 17th. But I believe in Rule. I believe in our offense with Dana Holgerson making that playbook to Dylan Raiola a lot easier to understand, a lot more fluid as well. Now, Northwestern comes into town. I'm not even going to talk about this game. Nebraska wins that one. We are, what is that? 8-0, 9-0? And now we've got USC coming into town. I think this is going to be our first loss of the season. It's going to stink because it's a night game, or it might be a night game blackout. Memorial might be
Blackout for
rocking,
sure.
Disagree.
but I'm being a realistic Husker fan. I don't think we're going to go 12-0. Now, if we do, they're proving me wrong, and I'm more than happy about that. But I have Nebraska losing to USC. Lincoln Riley comes into town, makes it close. Could be an overtime game potentially. Who knows? I mean, we had one against Illinois last year, boys, and it was a night game too.
It's like not another repeat of that game.
No, we don't want another repeat of that game, but I do see USC taking the dub and getting out of Memorial alive, barely. And then we go out to the Rose Bowl. UCLA and Nico Lamaleva. I'm sorry, but Nico, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose to Nebraska. The Black Shirts are gonna walk into the Rose Bowl, and we're gonna not let you throw the ball. You like those deep throws? Not gonna happen. Not with Deshaun Singleton back there. Not with Malcolm Hartzog. So good luck, but you're gonna take the L to Nebraska. Now, this is probably the biggest game of Nebraska's schedule, and that is at Penn State. They're going to be rocking 103,000 people strong. It could be a whiteout game. Who knows? Will Dylan Raiola be able to block that noise out, to communicate with the offensive line, to communicate with the wide receivers? Will we be able to play penalty-free football? I don't know. We don't know what our offensive line looks like. I mean, we do the depth charts out, but we'll get to that later. I think Nebraska's losing to Penn State, and it's going to be a really tough loss because if we're going 10-1 into Penn State with the possibility of, or sorry, 9-1 going into Penn State, and they're going to be a top 5 opponent. They're going to be trying to keep their college football playoff hopes alive. And James Franklin,
As will we.
it's going to be a top 10
Mhm.
matchup. I think Nebraska will be in the top 10 by that game if we're 9-1.
We're 9-1. We'd be top 12.
And
I'd hope so.
it'd be
I think we're going to be 10-0.
I don't know. I don't know if a 9-1 Nebraska team is top 5. It could happen. It would be the first time since what? 2016 Nebraska's been ranked
Not
above the
top
top
5.
10.
Yeah, we were top 10 in 16.
But I do have Nebraska losing that Penn State game. We're 9-2. But then we host the Iowa Hawkeyes. I didn't even want to say their name. And, you know, they're going to be walking away from Memorial without that W in their name because they're going to take a fat L on their forehead, is what they're going to do. And they're going to walk and waddle back to good old Iowa City with their tail between their legs because they just got BTA'd by the Nebraska Cornhuskers to go 10-2 for the 2025 regular season, boys. 10-2 being a college football playoff team, even. That is my prediction for the Nebraska 2025 Cornhusker season. And I'm going to pass this off to Nathan, and he's going to go over his predictions now.
So I kind of liked what Michael had to say, but to get started, the name's Nathan. I'm getting married next October to the most amazing person on the planet.
Golf
And,
clap.
you know, I played football growing up, but then I switched to wrestling in high school. But I've always had a passion for the sport. So that's a good reason why I want to do this. But, Michael, the only thing I disagree with is I think we are going to take over USC. We're in the alternates. That's going to be a night game, hopefully, fingers crossed, God willing. But I do think that we drop the game at Minnesota to Fleck. They have had our number. It's going to be a close one. I'm assuming there's going to be some referee antics. Something
Right.
is going to happen. But I think that the team is going to rebound from that loss, come back, maybe take Penn State to overtime.
That'd be a
And
cool
that
game.
alone, I think that gets us into the college football playoff at 10-2. So we'll see how we go. I really am excited to see John Butler as the new defensive coordinator and Coach Eckler as the special teams coordinator, who we had
Punts.
with Coach Bo Pelini. So this is going to be a great experiment. I'm excited to see it. I'm drinking all the Kool-Aid. I cannot wait to see the boys crack Cincinnati down in KC this week. All
Yes,
right, with
sir.
that, I'll send it to you, Chase.
Yeah. So I can see you're both drinking the Kool-Aid hard. Again, Nebraska, off-season champions like usual.
Per usual.
We
Sounds
did
about right.
lose 5 of our 6 last regular season games last year, which is a little scary. But I do think it's huge that we got Dana in last year. We start getting him and Rayola on the same page.
Mhm.
They even got to play in a bowl game together, or
And
coach and play in a
we
bowl game.
we won that bowl
Yep.
game as well.
We did.
Got a
Boston
whole month
College.
of extra practice and training together.
Boston College took that L on their forehead.
So same as you guys with Rule Year 3, I think we're in for a big season. I also have us going 10-2. I have the same loss as Michael had, that we will lose our first game to USC at home. Just something about them. I think they might match up well against us, and we drop a close one. And then I think we lose at Penn State in another close game. But going through, I am scared of Cincy week 1 here. We got to win for the momentum. And then Michigan is going to be one of the biggest games and biggest wins the Huskers will get in a long time. And then going through there, Minnesota, scary. I was looking through their schedule. They could be a one-loss team there also. So we could be seeing a top 25 matchup in Minneapolis. I think we'll get it done there also. And then the
College-
last week of the season,
You think college
I
game
was
day?
always good.
You think college game day for Nebraska, Minnesota?
Possibly. It's a Friday night game, so actually there's no
Never mind.
chance,
Never
unfortunately.
mind. Darn it.
But
But
I think the
sorry,
last week,
continue.
Nebraska Iowa could be for a college football playoff spot. I think
Mhm.
Nebraska will get it done. We'll go 10-2. I think that'll be good enough to make the playoffs this year.
Yes, sir.
Especially because if we do go 10-2 with 2 conference losses, that will likely exclude us from the Big Ten championship game. While it would be nice to have another conference title, I think it would be better to get into the college football playoff rather than have a chance to go up against Ohio State or Oregon or, Penn State potentially again.
Pulling
Well, just last
Indiana.
year, Ohio State missed the Big Ten conference title game. We
Mhm.
know what they did there.
Yep, they made a run after losing to Michigan.
Yeah, that was a fun conference championship game to watch. But alrighty, boys. Now, thanks for that segue into we're gonna start discussing conference champs. And with those conference champs, might be some college football playoff predictions as well. Clearly, whoever wins the conference of the Big Ten, SEC, Big 12, and the MAC get an auto bid, or no, not the MAC,
ACC.
ACC. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, the Big Four and then the best group of 5.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and they all get an auto bid to the college football playoffs, and then what would that be? Would that be 9 through 12? Would just be left up to 9, 10, 11, 12 ranked spots.
Large.
Well, right now, it's the 5 highest ranked conference champions, and the rest are just at large.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So 1 through
And then
5
the
is
seeding can
taken.
be anything this year. There's
Mhm.
no conference
Yeah, it's
champions or
top
1 through
seed.
4.
The top 4 will get the first round bye.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yep.
I thought it was the
Mhm.
conference
I'm
champs would
I'm
get
ex
those 1, 2, 3, 4.
State getting a bye.
and
Like, no
Arizona
offense,
State as
Boise State
well.
was a good team.
No, they both had very respected good seasons last year. I love their teams. I really like the Sun Devils for this season. I like Kenny Dillingham. He's building a great product over there.
Arizona State's scary. I think they win the Big 12.
So that's it. Yeah, we can start with the Big 12 here. You got Arizona State, Michael?
I just think Kenny Dillingham. I watch videos of that man giving speeches, and he makes me want to run through the damn wall. And if he's getting me, who doesn't play a lick of college football, up and ready to go for the day, I can't imagine what he's doing for that team down in ASU.
They
And
bring back their quarterback.
yep,
Mhm.
they bring
Sam
back their
Leavitt.
quarterback. Uh, obviously, Cam Scatterborough got drafted by the Giants, but I believe
Gotta boo.
I'm sure they'll be able to reload at running back. I'm sure Kenny will figure that out. Uh, I don't think Colorado has a chance of making that conference championship game. I was looking at their schedule, and I mean, for Colorado, it
Colorado,
doesn't look great.
even Georgia Tech week 1,
Yeah,
you might lose that.
yeah. And Georgia Tech, I would say, is the dark horse of an ACC just because they've kind of been creeping up in the last couple of seasons.
Hayes
Because,
King he's in for a good season.
yeah. And,
I like their over 6.5 win total on the season.
yeah, there you go. But I'll let you guys. I don't know who your guys' Big 12 conference champ would be. I just wanted to throw a little Colorado jab in there because F the Buffaloes.
Part of me did like K-State. We are recording this after week 0, so I already saw them catch a conference loss. So I have pivoted from them. I thought Avery Johnson would maybe be able to throw the ball a little bit better this year, but it looks like he is still all just his legs. So I'm going to go with Utah to win the Big 12 this year. They're bringing in a
Without Cam
quarterback and
Rising.
OC from New Mexico. I think their offense will be better this year. And their
Wow.
coach I think he's one of the best coaches in the country. Utah's a hard place to play. I'll take Utah.
Nice.
I like it. With me, I personally believe that Baylor is going to win the Big 12.
Wow.
You know,
Wow. You
they
think
switched
Aranda's
quarterbacks.
gonna do it?
They switched quarterbacks at the end of last season, the last
Wow.
6 games, and they went on a win streak. He's returning.
Wow.
They had, they're returning almost. I think it's top 10 amongst players from last year. So I think that they had a full off season together. Not a lot of them hit the portal. I think that they're similarly set up to Arizona State as last year. Not necessarily same odds, but I
Kind of
do
like a
think
dark
that
horse.
Baylor's going to make some noise this season.
That's exciting. So you're buying Dave Aranda stock. You're buying.
Baylor
You're
Auburn week
buying.
1 Friday night.
That'll be a
Yeah.
huge game.
I
That'll be a
think that,
huge game.
and didn't Auburn get Mateer? Or who did they receive? I know that Jackson Arnold.
No,
That's who they
Mateer went
got.
to Oklahoma. They got Jackson Arnold, the old
Yep, the
Oklahoma
old
quarterback.
Oklahoma
Wow.
back. Up. That's what I was thinking of. But I think that the Big 12 has got a leg up on. No, 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 they don't. Sorry.
Were you about to say the Big 12 has a leg up on the SEC?
Maybe in that game, I could see Baylor winning. Is it
At
at? I think
least
it might be at
I
Baylor.
I
I'm
like
not a
I
home.
do like Baylor over Auburn.
I'll give it to you.
Right.
I probably
That's where
like.
I'll leave it.
No, now we can segue into SEC. Now somebody about said the Big 12 is better than the SEC.
No, they're not.
Big 12 is the conference of champions now.
Yeah. Yep, definitely.
Brandon Walker would hate that.
He would hate that. But for the SEC, clearly there's front runners like Bama, Georgia, Kentucky's even in the I think top 6 favored SEC champs. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at
Probably
the
not.
odds. I thought I
You're
looked a
forgetting
little bit ago.
somebody.
Texas, obviously.
Another person.
Texas, Georgia, Bama, LSU,
Thank you.
Ole Miss.
I don't think Brian Kelly's gonna do it. I don't think Brian Kelly's gonna do it. I don't see LSU winning the
Don't
SEC.
doubt the Nuss.
I look Baton Rouge looks amazing. Their campus looks awesome. I've seen videos. I'd love to be a student there, but I don't think Brian Kelly's gonna do it. I'm sorry,
What about Garrett
LSU.
Nussmeier?
Sorry, Garrett.
Can you give
Garrett,
another reason?
Garrett
Why don't you start
Lussmeyer.
believe in
Brian?
their offense?
I personally think the LSU Tigers are going to win the SEC. I really like Garrett Nussmeier, and I think him and Brian Kelly are going to make some noise.
When LSU's good, they seem to be really good. Like explode,
Mhm.
like when they had Joe Burrow.
Now we'll see if their defense can make a significant leap, because I know that they have had some pretty bad seasons in years past.
Garrett
But I
Nussmeier's
do
the
believe they turn a corner this year.
Garrett Nussmeier is third currently in Heisman favorites. He is behind Cade
Mhm.
Klubnik at Clemson and Arch Manning at Texas.
Mhm.
So I think it'll be actually I think it's gonna be Georgia LSU in the SEC championship game, but Georgia goes on to win that game. I just think Kirby
Pot of
Smart.
stock in Gunner Stockton.
Yep, yep, and
You
I'm
just went
buying
from not
stocking.
believing in LSU to them being in your conference title
Yeah, I'm
game
like,
now.
I don't think they're
that's
gonna
a
win the SEC
quick
championship game. I
quick
just think
switch up,
But
buddy.
they're going to
I
be good.
think they lose it. I think they lose
Okay.
the
But they're
SEC
good enough to
championship.
make the conference title game.
Yeah, yeah, I think they're good enough to make it, but I foresee them choking it to Georgia and Kirby Smart and that powerhouse down in Athens. That Kirby Smart and
Cold
Georgia
feet on the road.
can reload like no other. And it's crazy. I wish Nebraska could just go in and be like, oh, let's go talk to like three
Well,
5 stars and see if they want to come down here, and boom.
I
Maybe
think you
soon.
mean they can refuel.
Refuel, reload, same thing.
Yeah, they don't
But
rebuild, they reload.
yep, exactly. I got that from like Josh Pate or listening to Josh Pate and Will Compton on that Bussin' with the Boys episode. They just kept on. I was like, that makes sense to me. So I went
So
with it.
Chase, who do you think is going to win the SEC title game?
We are all in disagreement again. I have the Longhorns winning the SEC this year.
Ooh,
I think they are the most complete team in the conference. That Arch Manning is the real deal, and we'll get it done this year.
Horns down.
They
Horns
do have some
down.
hard
that's a.
games that scare me, but I think they'll
Do you,
beat Georgia, SEC
Like
title
that
game.
Ohio State game, week 1.
are they starting week 1 1-0?
I like Texas a lot in that game.
Okay. All right.
Interesting.
And we can use
I have
I
that.
don't
time to
doubt it.
change my mind, but as of right now, I think Texas could beat Ohio State week 1.
Do you think Arch Manning wins
I
Heisman then too?
think it's completely reasonable.
Maybe. I might have Arch Manning second in my Heisman.
Okay. Maybe we'll get to that
Interesting.
later. We'll get to that later
All
then.
right.
Uh,
So then,
we'll go Big Ten now. We'll go from SEC to Big Ten, which I would like to say is the superior conference over the SEC.
mhm.
At Nathan, the Big 12 is like third in line, maybe,
Big Ten,
maybe
home of the
fourth.
last 2 national championships.
But
Big Ten on
for
top.
the Big Ten conference championship game, I have Penn State and Oregon. I think Ohio State misses the Big Ten championship game because I think Ohio State loses that Penn State Ohio State game they play this season at the end of the year. And I also foresee Ohio State losing to Michigan because that is at Ann Arbor. Um, and I think Ohio State is 10-2 on the year with losses to Michigan and Penn State. But I still see Ohio State not in the college football. Would Ohio State make
So
it over Nebraska? I would
you think
say
Nebraska is a better team than Ohio State?
maybe. Maybe I do.
I'd be really scared if Ohio State and Nebraska were both 10-2, that we would be the ones left out.
Yeah.
We would.
If there was a big
I was
variance.
just
We
I
won't
was
know
just
yet.
Nebraska, they would pick Ohio State over Nebraska.
We'd have
They
to
would.
see what the common opponents looked like if we killed some people and they lost. But
but like if
Yeah.
we beat Michigan and they lose to Michigan, that
And if we
That
beat
could,
Penn State and they lose to Penn State, maybe.
yeah.
That means we
If
would
It
have had some weird
depends on the
losses,
margin
though.
of victory. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into that, but I think Penn State wins the Big Ten championship game over Oregon and Dan Lanning. But I love that dude. That Dan Lanning makes me want to run through a wall. James Franklin, he's just been developing Penn State. They've been a college football playoff team for the past 3 years, 2 years now.
They always beat the teams they should beat,
Yep.
but they can never beat like
He's
Ohio
he's
State.
he's like the Bo Pelini-ish, where Bo Pelini couldn't win those huge games. He was our coach when we lost that Wisconsin Big Ten game when we got ran all over. But we don't need to talk about that. Nathan, who do you have winning the Big Ten?
I have Ohio State winning the Big Ten. I think that they are going to beat Michigan at Michigan this year because Jeremiah Smith hates Michigan, as he should. I think that this is the year Ryan Day cracks code, and they will win at the Big House this season. Now, honestly, there could be a couple different people in the running to play the Ohio State in the Big Ten title game. I think it could either be Oregon, it could be Penn State, it could be a 10-2 Nebraska, it could be 10-2 Iowa, it could be 10-2 Minnesota. There's a lot of teams who could be on the other side of this. But I do think that Oregon is going to be there, and it's it's kind of just written in the sand. I think that Dan Lanning's got a great team. They got quarterback who's learned the system behind Gabriel for a year. I think that he's going to execute it well, and they could have another player in the running for the Heisman again. So I think that Ohio State will beat Oregon in the Big Ten title game. What about you, Chase?
I do think it's kind of a three-team race in a way between Penn State, Ohio State, and Oregon. I do think Nebraska and Michigan have the possibility to be just behind them. I'm going to go Penn State over Ohio State. I think this is Penn State's year in the Big Ten. Ohio State and Oregon are both going to start a new quarterback. Penn State's have Drew Aller for year 3. I think if it's going to be the year that they're going to win it, it's going to be this year. So I'll take the Nittany Lions to win the Big Ten.
Good call.
And so with after we discussed that, I pulled up the Big Ten conference odds for winners. Nathan and Ohio State are plus 190. Chase and I with Penn State are plus 230. So literally we all three picked the top 2 teams for betting odds. So after the Big Ten, we'll just go with ACC, and then from there,
Move on
once
to
ACC is
playoffs after
discussed,
that.
we'll discuss college football playoffs. Um, for the ACC, I think Miami's gonna win it. I just think they'll be able to reload after Cam Ward getting drafted. Um, Now I'm not entirely sure why I think Miami will reload, but they just have that kind of a brand down in Florida. I think they're stars to a lot of the recruits down there and even transfers. Like, imagine if you're a 5-star who committed to Penn State but didn't get that playing time and you had to go through those brutal winters. What probably sounds best while in December than a beach in 70 degrees? And so I think I have Miami winning the ACC this year and making the college football playoff as well.
You think their defense will be improved from last year? Because they were in some shootouts
Putting a lot
against
of
even teams.
stock in crystal ball. Mm-hmm.
I do like
I
Carson Beck. I think their offense is going to be good again.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Carson Beck was great at Georgia as well. Georgia was just ready to move on. And so is Carson. But who do you have winning the ACC, Chase?
I think it'll be Clemson. I think They have the best team, best defense. It's
Best
Caleb
coach.
Kubi. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Their
Caleb
quarterback. I think
Klubnik.
he's going to have
Or Cade
a big
Klubnik.
year. Yeah, Klubnik. Yeah, I'm trying to say the NFL head coach's name, but yeah, Klubnik's going to have a huge year. I think Clemson is going to go undefeated in ACC play, and they'll roll the conference.
Nice.
I am right there with you. I have Clemson winning the SEC, and they will likely be playing either SMU or they could be playing someone like, I don't even know. Yeah, probably SMU or maybe Louisville if they have a good year.
I could see Louisville being sneaky.
Mm-hmm. But Cade Klubnik is just going to have a hell of a season. I have him in the Heisman race as well. And Dabo is just going to, I think he's going to put 2 and 2 together again and kind of try to get back to the top of the mountain.
Understandable. And that's a nice segue into Heisman picks as well for this year. But we'll save the Heisman picks until after our college football playoff predictions. Um, Mine are gonna go in no specific order, just to make it easier. I'm just gonna pick the teams to make it. Um, and so obviously my conference champs of Georgia, Penn State, Arizona State, and
Miami.
Miami. Yeah, sorry, ACC. With that, I've got 7 more teams to pick to make the college football playoff. And for those 7 teams to make, I'm gonna go with, I think Florida makes it. I think Bama makes it. Nebraska makes it. This is where I have a hard time because with the SEC, they
Hard.
only get what, 3 teams, 2 teams.
You don't
It's
know.
whoever's ranked highest. It don't matter.
Yeah, they could have 6. They could have 1.
Yeah. Big Ten
They're
could
not going to
have
have
4. No, they'll have more than 1.
I think the people from the Big Ten is Nebraska, Ohio State, and Oregon after Penn State. For the SEC, I have Bama, Texas, Florida. And then I'm going to pick a Power 4 team because that's who it needs to be. Um, why not SMU? Why not? They made it last year. They know what they're
They're
doing.
ACC. That's ACC.
I don't even know who would be.
Boise State,
Yeah,
Tulane,
UNLV.
San Diego State.
Appalachian State.
Yep.
James
MAC
Madison.
teams. Akron.
I'm going to go with.
Liberty.
I'm going to go with Boise State. I think Boise State figures a way out to get back. Actually, that does not sound like a bad pick, and I'm going to go with it.
I like it.
But
Solid.
with those teams, there's a lot to unfold, and we can unfold that at a later date because the season has not started yet. There's no way we know if this product is going to play out to make the college football playoffs. So I'm strictly going off of last year and just taking chances on those kinds of teams. And to segue, I'm going to let Nathan talk about who he believes will make the college football playoffs.
Thanks, Michael. So, along with my conference title champs, I will go in order. So I have 1 being Ohio State, 2 being LSU, 3 being Clemson, 4 being Penn State, 5 being Texas, 6 being Georgia, 7 being Notre Dame, 8 being Alabama, 9 being Baylor, 10 being Nebraska. And I got did I missing someone? Did I already say Alabama?
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you
I
make it
said
a
Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
You
you make
stopped
it
after
11
10
team?
Nebraska. You got 11 and 12.
I have Tulane is my 12.
Who's
Oh, so they're your
11?
And I
group of
said
5 team.
Nebraska.
You said
Huh?
Baylor.
Yep, that's my Big 12 champ.
You said Nebraska at 10.
Did I say huh? And I already
Maybe
gave Oregon.
you could just
No,
go
you
through
got
it one more time if you want.
Did I not give Oregon?
I didn't think I
You
heard
might have not said
Oregon.
them.
Okay, so Oregon is 11 then. Or no, Oregon is
Okay.
10, Nebraska is 11.
Gotcha.
So Tulane, you think they might be the best group of 5 team this year?
Yep, I like Darian Mensah. I think that they are poised. I kind of like their head coach, so we'll see kind of what the season will produce for them.
So you think two
I
teams from Bama will make the college football playoffs? Because Tulane is also in Bama. Wow.
I
I
think
don't know if they
Alabama's
are.
going to have a bounce back season. Otherwise, Kalen DeBoer is on his way out of there.
Is it Tulane in Bama?
I think Tulane might be in Louisiana if I'm not mistaken, but
Is it Louisiana? Yeah, it's New
100%
Orleans.
certain.
I'm dumb. Well, never mind.
all right, you're a
Scratch
hard
that.
one.
You need to
I
head to
wasn't
Bible
even 100%
country.
confident, but
My geography was bad. Sorry.
I like it. So you both have Nebraska making it. You both
Yep.
have a decent amount of the same teams with some different ones in there. Nathan has Baylor and LSU. Michael didn't.
Good enough to make the conference title game, but bad enough to not make the playoff.
Yep.
Exactly.
Interesting.
I have some same as you guys. I did seed mine 1 through 12. I have Penn State getting the 1 seed. I think they might go undefeated during the regular season. Number 2, I have my SEC champ, which is Texas. 3 seed, my ACC champ, Clemson. Number 4 is Ohio State. I think they'll get the highest at large, jumping the Big 12 champ and the Group of 5 champ. So those will be the buys. Number 5, I have Georgia. Number 6, Oregon. 7, Notre Dame. 8, Utah. 9, Bama. 10, LSU. 11, Nebraska will sneak in at 10 and 2.
Hell
Be the
yeah.
last Power 4 team to play. At the 11 seed, which means we travel to number 6, Oregon and Eugene for our first playoff game.
That'd be
And then
scary,
number
but it'd be
12, I went
fun.
with Boise State. I like
Yeah.
we're bringing back their quarterback and head coach. I think they're going to have a halfback by committee this year to replace Genty, and I think they will still be pretty good.
There we go. There
So
we
those are my
go.
I
playoffs
like
right
it.
now, and I do have Texas then coming out of that playoff to win it all this year.
Wow. Natty champ.
Interesting.
But you don't think Arch Manning wins Heisman?
Heisman is voted on in the regular season. I have Drew Aller in the 1-seeded Penn State and undefeated regular season will win the Heisman. I think Arch will be up there. I think he might win it next year since his grandpa says that he has to play another year after the season. So
That's fair.
I think Penn State is going to look pretty good in the regular season, and then they will Penn State in the playoffs and drop a game somewhere in there.
Nice. Nathan, who do you think wins the Heisman this year then?
I have got the boy, Jeremiah Smith. I think he's in for an extraordinary year if he stays healthy. So I think even with the freshman quarterback, Julian Sayin, I think that they will have a solid connection. Day always seems to get the most out of his receivers, and I think if needed, Jeremiah will elevate that team, and that is why I do have them as the 1 seed in the playoff. However, I also have Penn State coming out of the playoff as the college football champion. I think James Franklin will get over that hump due to one loss in the regular season to the Ohio State. So I think that they are going to have a good postseason, but again, Heisman is voted on in the regular season, which is why Jeremiah Smith will win it all.
I
Michael,
like
how
it.
about you?
We kind of have different thoughts with the Penn State here quickly, where I think they're going to run the table in the regular season, lose in the
Mhm.
playoffs. You think they're going to catch an L in the regular season, then
Yeah,
run it in the
I think
playoffs?
very similar to Ohio State last year. I think that James Franklin is going to copy that mold. And, with Nick Singleton, anything is possible.
I think I'm going to surprise you guys with this Heisman pick. I'm going to go
Boy,
with Sam
excited.
Levitt from ASU. I think
But
Arizona
they don't
State.
make the playoff?
Nope. Wait,
I thought
yeah,
you
they
had them
did.
in
Christ.
Yeah,
because
I had
they
them
were in your
winning the
You
Big
conference.
had Ohio.
12. I said including my
Oh, okay.
conference champs.
Okay, my bad.
Mhm.
No, you're all
Sorry, I didn't
good.
remember them being listed.
No, you're all good. Uh, I just think if he takes them to back-to-back college football playoff appearances and a Big 12 championship under his belt, going undefeated in the regular season, I think Sam Levitt is just gonna shoot up the Heisman race probably around week 7, mid-conference play. I think that's when their Big 12 schedule kind of gets a little tougher down the lengths of it. If I'm not mistaken, I thought they played Chase's Big 12 champion Utah. Let me
Around
just
week 7.
double check that. I'm just
I
gonna
do
pull
agree
up
with
their
what you're saying. I
schedule.
think this year would be more Sam Levitt led offense compared to last year with Scatterboo. So if Arizona State's offense is going to be pretty good, it's going to be led through their quarterback.
They play
Mm-hmm.
Utah week 6,
Utah week
so
6.
I was a week early, but I think Arizona State pushes through. I mean, week 7 is when their schedule gets a little bit tougher though, because they go to Utah, they go or they go to Iowa State, they go to Colorado, which you never know. You never know, but I would hope Sam Levitt and Kenny Dillingham go the length and Sam Levitt ends up winning the Heisman. Now, for my natty, I think that Penn State, I agree with Nathan on this. I think Penn State's going to go and win that national championship with James Franklin getting over the hump, along with Drew Aller. It is Drew Aller's senior year as well. And so I don't think Drew Aller wants to leave State College without a national championship under his belt, and that will propel him forward through some super tough games as well. That college football playoff, I think all of our brackets, if any of them happen, there will be some electric college football games. Uh, to segue into our next topic, it's going to be the Nebraska Cincinnati preview, of which Chase will be attending that game down in Arrowhead, where Husker Nation will be taking over and making that the loudest stadium in the nation on a Thursday night.
I'll try to get some clips. Maybe talk to Will Compton. Just be there and try to will our Huskers to a win.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Oh,
sir.
yeah.
Now, the score is something we probably won't agree on because I don't think Nebraska's blowing out Cincinnati by any means. I think Cincinnati will. They probably see this game as a must win as well. They are in a quote unquote neutral site for a stadium, of which people from Nebraska have to drive 3 hours versus 8 hours from Cincinnati, Ohio. Um, and with that practically being an away game for Cincinnati and their fans, I think that's going to throw them off. I don't think their offense is going to really be ready for that kind of noise that Husker fans are going to bring because I don't know about you guys, but all over Husker Twitter, I see fans state that they're going to go, that they got their tickets, and that's just been a constant on my Twitter feed. I see people like, where do you guys want to meet up? And they're all trying to set up plans or be like, I'm going to be here. People are saying the parking lot is going to like increase the stadium noise just because of how many people will be out there. And so I just think Husker fans are going to take over Arrowhead. They're going to make that place raucous for Cincinnati's offense. And who knows? Maybe a couple full starts will happen. And that's not even Memorial Stadium. Um, I think Dylan Raiola throws for 225 yards, completes over 70% of his passing rate. I think Emma Johnson can get anywhere from 85 to 100 yards rushing while also catching a couple screens here and there. Dane Key, Isaiah Hunter, Ja'Cory Barney, um, Heinrich Harburg, Luke Lindemeyer. I think that Dana Holgerson instilled in each and every single receiver and tight end of ours to make sure you block. You block that person right in front of you and you don't stop until you think you should. And even when you think you should, keep doing it. And I think our perimeter blocking with Dane Key and Isaiah Hunter is going to be phenomenal. We all attended that practice that was open to the public a couple of weeks ago. We saw Ja'Cory Barney, who is arguably one of the most underestimated slot wide receivers of ours. Nobody's talking about him outside of Nebraska. Um, and I think he's gonna
He'll also
put
be
on.
returning punts this year.
He will be returning punts this year, and I think with Mike Eckler at the head, like you had mentioned earlier, I mean, what Mike Eckler did at Tennessee with the special teams is crazy. They went from having a total of 50 yards for punt returns at Tennessee to almost quadrupling those yards. They went from like 50 yards to 100 yards, and then they almost doubled that the following season. Uh, and so obviously Nebraska and special teams do not go together, and they haven't gone together since Alex Henry was our kicker. Ever since Alex Henry, it's gone downhill. Um, I think Mike Eckler brings that special teams mentality back to Nebraska, and I don't think we're going to be struggling with any kicking or punting issues. I believe Archie Wilson is going to do great with Mike Eckler because Eckler literally went and watched videos of him punting in Australia, and because I watched Archie Wilson's press conference that had like 15,000 views on YouTube. Um, and I just think Eckler's got the punter that he wants, and he's gonna just thrive. Um, but yeah, Nebraska's just gonna walk in, take over Arrowhead, beat Cincinnati. I do believe the score is probably gonna be 27-21. Um, and then we start week one off with a dub, boys. Um, how do you guys think the game will go, Nathan? Chase?
I see it trying. I see the game starting close. I think we'll pull ahead at the end. I think we'll run the ball, grind them down. I think some of the keys we're going to win this game is our two transfer receivers, Key and Hunter, are going to have to step up. Cincinnati's to tackle Dante Corlson. So it could be kind of tricky to run the ball around him, but he's really the only guy that scares me. I think Nebraska will be able to score. And once they get done with their gadget plays and their tricky stuff that might get us at the beginning of the season, I think we'll pull ahead in the second half and win 31-17. Get a strong win, momentum building for the rest of the season.
Nice. Nice.
So I personally, I'm on the same side. We're gonna beat Cincinnati. I think it's gonna be a little bit closer than what personally a lot of Husker fans probably want. It's going to be 32-21 Nebraska winning. Um, they averaged over 180 yards on the ground per game last season. So I think that they are going to try to run the ball on our defense. And with Eckler being there, I know he's pretty blitz heavy. So it'll be interesting to see kind of the stunts and everything else he has the linemen pull in order to kind of just keep the linemen guessing. Um, so I really think that a key for them is going to be running the ball against us. But if we can just have Elijah Judy step up and kind of the rest of the defense, I'm really excited to see Dasan McCullough out there. He is a freaking unit. 6'5", 280. Holy cow. This guy is not your average linebacker. And, we got You're right, coming back. I think he's going to have a great year.
He was chosen as a captain too, Nathan Sire.
Exactly. I think it's going to be a really good season this year. So I do think that if our defense can step up and stop their running game, it it might be even a bigger win. But one other thing I would like to see the Huskers step up with is keeping the pocket clean for Dylan. I think that is a very big key for us because, you know, Dylan is a good quarterback when he has time to make his reads, and I assume he's only gotten quicker with a year under his belt. But he was sacked 27 times last year. That is way too many times.
Yeah, you can't
Um,
have that.
but I think with transfers, Elijah Pritchett and Rocco Spindler, I think that our offensive line has improved immensely, along with the growth from other guys on the line. I think Rule has really dedicated a lot of time this offseason to building the trenches on both sides of the ball. So I really have put my faith in the staff that they 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 trust the guys they're putting out on the field. Uh, so that's why I really do think that this year we're gonna turn the corner and have a hell of a season
I'm excited for
I
starting
week
do
one,
on
agree.
boys.
on Thursday.
I do
So
agree. If
good.
Cincy
Go
wins,
ahead.
it's going to be them running the ball. They got a good
hmm
O line. I think they led the Big 12 in time of possession last year. I was reading, so
hmm
which may lead into our strength, is what I'm hoping,
Yeah,
and we can shut down that run.
yeah.
Exactly.
I'm hoping that too, and I'm so excited for week one, boys. I'm excited for it to get started. We're gonna go from Wednesday to Sunday football every night, and I can't wait for it. You guys
Just a
got
couple days now.
any NFL or college hot or cold takes? You guys get one each.
Go
This
ahead.
might just be a week zero overreaction. I'll start with the college hot take, and that is I think Kansas could win the Big 12 and make the playoffs this year. Maybe I'm just reading that high. I saw Jaden
Wow.
Daniels running all over Fresno. He looked great. He was injured to start the year last year. At the end of the season, Kansas started heating up, and they looked really good. I still think Utah's going to win, but I think Kansas could be sneaky. We'll see what they
Wow.
can do, but I think they could win.
Like it. I like it. Couple different
Um,
teams from the Big 12 that could be sparky.
yeah, it is a fun comp. Should I go into my NFL hot take, or do you guys want to do your
Sure, go
college
ahead.
hot take
Yeah.
quick?
Hop into your NFL one real quick.
All right, this will be an MVP. I think Baker Mayfield could put together an MVP season this year. He's a little lower on the odds board, but he's got some wide receivers. I think I'm not going to pronounce his name right, but Amika Buga
Ika
from
Buka.
Ohio State. He's looked good in the preseason. He's still got Mike Evans. Chris Godwin's a little banged up, but he'll be back. He's always good. They got Bucky Irving out of the backfield. I could see Tampa having a good season and Baker putting together some MVP numbers.
That Tampa offense can
I
be a
like it.
little dark horse too. They've got it. They still got arguably two of the best wide receivers uh in the league right now. And Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. I there's a lot of NFL teams that had a 1-2 punch, but I just think that Mike Evans, Chris Godwin 1-2 punch is filthy. and Baker Mayfield
Yep, and they've just
being
added
able to,
to it.
and Baker Mayfield, like, I enjoy watching that guy ball out. I really do. It's fun football to watch. And
Yeah,
I'm
he's a fun
happy he
guy to
was able to
watch.
find, yeah, and I'm happy he's able to find, he was able to find a team that knew how to use him and put him in those good situations too. Um, for my college take, I'm going to say, I mean, Arizona State and Sam Levitt. I'm going to keep riding them. Like I said, them winning the conference championship along with Sam Levitt winning the Heisman, I think that's a hot take of itself. I don't think a lot of people are riding on Arizona State this year for winning the conference championship, making it back to the college football playoff with Sam Levitt winning the Heisman. Um, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to watch them. I'm just excited for football, but Arizona State, I mean, they lost 39-31 to Texas in that college football playoff game last year, and that was a really fun game in overtime. They wound up
Yeah,
losing
they
it.
probably should have won that game damn near too.
So
Mhm.
I think Kenny Dillingham and the Sun Devils go back and battle with a vengeance. I don't think they're going to win the college football playoff, obviously, but I think they at least win the
You
first
think they're
round.
going to be right there?
Yeah, I think they're going to be a really good team this year. Um, for NFL, I think my freaking New England Patriots are going to make a wild card game in the 2025 season. They are doubting us this year, and I do not want to hear it from nobody. Mike Vrabel, everybody loves calling him Vrabes. Vrabes is turning the ship around, and he's got Will Campbell and Drake May on our offense with Josh McDaniels to steer us and guide us with the help of Stephon Diggs, Kendrick Bourne, Pop Douglas, and our line. We went and reloaded. We went and got that Eagles offensive lineman. Don't remember his name. And then our defense, you know what? We have arguably one of the best cornerbacks in the league in Christian Gonzalez. Um, he is arguably one of the better corners we have had in recent times. Um, recent being like 5 years. Because the McCourty brothers have been out of the league for a while. Um, but I think the Patriots make a wild card game this year. I mean, look at our predicted win total, boys. I don't think that could get any hotter of a take for the 2025 NFL season.
What is your guys' win total? Like 8.5 or something? Like eight and a
Yeah,
half, 7.5?
it's 7.5.
I think you guys are heading in the right direction. I think you're maybe still a year away from making the playoffs. I think there's a couple other wild card teams like maybe the Broncos, Chargers, Bengals that I could see in the playoffs for the wild cards instead. But I do like your guys'
Replace the
coach.
Broncos
I
with the
think you're
Patriots,
making good
Chase.
moves.
Bo Nix is better than Drake May.
I like the moves they made on defense. They brought over some older 49er players, but
But Nathan, what would be your college hot or cold take and your NFL college or hot cold take or cold or hot?
So my college hot take is probably Nebraska making the playoff. Um, I do think that that is not really something the national media thinks can happen, and I do think that, that's all right because in the past we hadn't turned a corner. We hadn't, you know, there's a narrative that we win the off season every year, but it doesn't always translate to on-field success or hasn't in recent years. I think that Matt Rule is going to turn that corner this year. I think that the players that we got in the transfer portal have bought directly into the culture. Um, so I think that the just the atmosphere around the team and everything Rule is saying, hell, he started his own podcast. Your coach doesn't
It's
do that
really
if he
good.
doesn't feel, he doesn't feel comfortable. So I do think that having Nebraska in the playoff is a hot take in its own right. So that is going to be my hot take for college football. For the NFL, another awards prediction, but I'm going to pivot away from the MVP and I'm going to primarily focus on Offensive Player of the Year. So
Nathan,
there is a plethora.
before you put your pick out, can I take a guess at what team that player would be from?
No,
Niners.
no,
Okay.
no. I do think that he could be in the running. I will. I need him to stay healthy. I think if he stays healthy, he could be in the MVP running. Christian McCaffrey is like a Terminator. He is. He's not human.
He's
That guy
really
is
good.
so. When he is healthy, he is next level good. Him and
And he's out
Saquon
there.
are up there. Yeah,
I'd probably say they're
oh
the
my
top
god.
two backs of the league. Him and
I could
Saquon.
go on for hours about Christian McCaffrey. But I think this year a different running back is going to win Offensive Player of the Year. Now, this isn't to say that guys like Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson aren't going to have amazing years in their own right. Hell, even like Derrick Henry and Justin Herbert or Lamar or Allen.
Drake
Everybody else in
May.
the MVP running. No,
No,
not his case. He's not in the same breath of those guys, buddy. Sorry, he's got a lot more to prove.
Continue.
Hell,
Sorry.
I even think Brock Purdy is better than Drake May. A lot better than Brock. A
A
lot
lot of
better than
people
Drake
do.
May.
A lot of people do.
But I think that Bijan Robinson is going to win Offensive Player of the Year. I think that he is going to turn it up with Penix, and I think that Penix's abilities, both through the air, while they may not be amazing and super polished, but I think that he is going to be able to get the job done both through the air and through the ground. And that will help Bijan with his opportunities where he will be able to take screens as well as, clearing the box out a little bit for him to, get the ball up the field. I'm predicting him to have 1,500 all purpose yards and over 20 touchdowns combined. So I think that that'll be good enough for him to win Offensive Player of the Year, barring that he stays healthy this season. So don't go into the fantasy drafts and take my guy because I listed him out here. So that is a
yeah,
special message to all league members watching this. Um, so
Nathan's giving away his
that
secret.
yep, that is my hot take for the NFL and college football season.
I can see them being a run first offense with Michael Penix in his first full year starting, just relying on
Yep,
Bijan, just run, run, run.
I also see
yep, run
Bijan getting
heavy.
used in halfback screens like no other. Just because
Mhm.
that OC over in Atlanta with Penix having his first full year is going to try and make that playbook as easy as possible for him. Um, and obviously those halfback screens keep Bijan moving around. I think they'll even motion him out to like a slot wide receiver every so often as
Yep,
well and use him in the pass game.
he's a
So
gadget player.
yeah, he's 100% a gadget player and he can run people over 100%. Um
Mhm.
so I think that's a pretty good take too. I personally don't think that is a hot take cuz in the fantasy drafts that I have done, which I think has been two, Bijan was taken in the second pick or first pick, one of the two, which is crazy cuz he didn't really have like too huge of a year last year, but with your prediction, Nathan, that means if he follows your prediction, he's gonna have one hell of a season. But alrighty, fellas.
There's one guy I hope gets
I wonder why.
McCaffrey.
Understandable, understandable. Well, fellas, it's been a phenomenal morning. I think it was awesome
Yeah.
getting to talk to you guys, just talk ball all morning. Um, I am Michael, and this is the Cornfed coverage with Nathan and Chase as well. And we are all your co hosts and hope you all have a phenomenal rest of your weekend and a great rest of your week. Tune in next week and have a great day.
All got Nebraska as a playoff team. It's a lock.